Hey everyone, you're watching the Esperanza 243. You're watching my book reading project of The Westing Game, Part 17. It's pretty exciting that this is actually Part 17. We're halfway through, which is really neat. Just one quick thing before I get to the recap, before I get to the reading. I am actually considering of doing a 1 hour special of this, considering, how much there is still to read, and considering how much one of my sisters loves this book. And for her to actually get her to watch my stuff, because she hasn't been paying attention lately. She's been busy, Anyways, I just figured I could give you guys a little something special, because I haven't done an hour special for any of my book readings, and so I thought I might as well do that with the Westing Game. So let's go ahead and get to the recap. I believe in part 16 there was the after effects of the second bomb. Angela visits Sidel at the hospital. She decides to joke around with Sidel, considering Sidel is always, trying to show off, trying to get attention. And so she decides to go along with it. And Turtle is disappointed with the loss of money she and her partner have been in for the stock market. Doug tries to talk to the doorman, Sandy. He actually asks him if he plays chess. Sandy said, no, I'm more of a Hearts fan. I actually ended the video with Judge Ford talking to Sandy about what they discovered, about what he discovered about the residents of Sunset Towers. And that's where I'm going to start. Judge Ford opened the thin folder on Mrs. Westing. Mrs. Westing, no first name, no maiden name. In the few newspaper photographs in which she appeared, always with her husband, the captions read, Mr. and Mrs. Samuel W. Westing. A shadowy figure, a shy woman, she seemed to slip behind her husband before the camera clicked, or had her face masked by a floppy hat brim. A slim woman dressed in the fashion of the time. Long, loose chemise, narrow shoes with sharply pointed toes, and high spiked heels. A nervous woman, her hands, especially in the later pictures, were blurred. In the final photograph, a black veil covered her face. She seemed to lean unsteadily against the stocky frame of her husband as they left the cemetery. Sandy reported his findings. Jimmy Ho never met Mrs. Westing, neither did Florence Baumbach. She says Violet's fiancé brought her to the shop for fittings. She says it's bad luck for a groom to see the bride in the wedding gown before the wedding. I guess she's right. Well, that's it. Nobody else admits to knowing Mrs. Westing except me. You knew her, Mr. McSouthers? Well, not exactly, but I saw her once or twice. The doorman described Mrs. Westing as blonde, full-lipped, a good figure, though, on the skinny side. Mostly I recall those full lips because she had a mole right here. He pointed to the right corner of his mouth. Judge Ford did not remember a mole. She remembered copper-colored hair and thin lips, but it was so long ago, and, well, Mrs. Westing was white, very white. Next, Westing's daughter. The judge studied the photograph under the headline, Violet Westing to marry Senator. The senator turned out to be a state senator, a hack politician, now serving a 5-year jail term for bribery. But Flora Baumbach was right about the resemblance. Violet Westing did look like Angela Wexler. And that was George Theodorakis, all right, dancing with her in the society page clippings. What does it all mean, Judge? Sandy asked, squinting at the pictures through his smeared glasses. Angela looks like Westing's daughter, and Theo looks like his father, the man Violet Westing really wanted to marry. How did you know that? Sandy shrugged. It was common gossip at the time that Westing's daughter killed herself rather than have to marry that crooked politician. Now the judge remembered her mother had written her about the tragedy. Tell me, Mr. McSouthers, you seem to know what's going on in this building. Is Angela Wexler involved with Theo in any way? Oh, no. Sandy was certain of that. Angela and her intern seem happy enough with each other. At least I hope so. I mean, if Sam Westing wanted to replay that terrible drama, Angela Wexler would have to die. Chapter 16. The Third Bomb. Boom! Grace Wexler slammed the door on the delivery boy's silly face and returned to her party with a pink-ribboned gift. The gasping guests were slipping jasmine tea from Westing paper party cups, nibbling on tidbits from Westing paper party plates, and wiping their fingers on Westing paper party napkins. Madame Ho served in a tight-fitting silk gown slit high up her thigh, a costume as old-fashioned and impractical as bound feet. Women in China wore blouses and pants and jackets. That's what she would wear when she got home. Grace clapped her hands for attention. Girls, girls, it's time for the bride-to-be to open her presents. Angela, you sit here, and everybody gather round. Angela did as her mother said. She lowered herself to a cushion on the floor, ringed by gift boxes, surrounded by vaguely familiar faces. She had not invited her few friends from college. They were bent on careers. This wasn't their thing. These were her mother's friends and newly married daughters of her mother's friends. And Turtle, who was leaning against the wall, arms folded, smirking. Lucky Turtle, the neglected child. Read it out loud, dear, Grace ordered, as Angela opened the card tied to the yellow-ribboned box. To the bride-to-be in the kitchen stuck, an asparagus cooker and lots of luck. From Cookie Barfspringer. Thank you, Angela said, wondering which one was the Barfspringer. The next gift was an egg poacher. The box in pink ribbons contained another asparagus cooker. I sure hope Dr. Dear likes asparagus, someone remarked. The giver said she could return it for something else, although two might come in handy. A doctor's wife has so much entertaining to do. Angela glanced at her watch and reached for the tall, thin carton wrapped in gold foil. Look how Angela's hands are shaking. She's as nervous as a groom. Giggles. Bride-to-be jitters. More giggles. Slowly, Angela unknotted the gold ribbon. Carefully, she unfolded the gold foil. How neatly she did everything, the perfect child, not like Turtle who ripped off wrappings, impatient to see what was inside. Hurry up, Angela, you're such a poke, Turtle complained. Suddenly there she was, kneeling down to peek under the lid. Get away! Angela cried, jerking the gift up and away from her sister as the lid blasted off with a shattering bang. Bang, bang! A rapid rat-tat-tat. Rockets shooting, fireballs bursting, comets shrieking, sparks sizzling, 24 framed flower prints falling off the wall. Then it was over. Screams hushed to whimpers, and the trembling guests crawled out from under tables and peered out of closets. Is anyone hurt? Grace Wexler asked nervously. Other than being scared out of 10 years of their lives, thank you, they were fine. Where's Angela? Angela was still seated on the cushion in the middle of the floor. Fragments of the scorched box lay in her burned hands. Blood oozed from an angry gash on her cheek and trickled down her beautiful face. Heirs beware, Sam Westing had warned. They should have listened. Now it was too late. The suspicious heirs gathered in the lobby around the police captain, called in by Judge Ford. One of them was a murderer, they thought, and one of them was a bomber, and one of them was a thief. But which was which, and who was who? Or could it be one and the same? Some game, Mr. Ho grumbled, unwrapping a chocolate bar. One ulcer wasn't enough. Sam Westing had to give him 3 more. Some game. The last one alive wins. Now there's a likely suspect, Otis Amber thought. Ho, the inventor. Ho, the angry man. The madman. The last one alive wins. Florenbach repeated. Oh my, what a terrible thing to say. Can't trust the dressmaker, Mr. Ho thought. How come she's grinning at a time like this? The captain offered no help at all. Neither the bomb squad nor the burglar detail has enough evidence to search the apartments. You call that justice? Sandy asked. Good-natured Sandy couldn't be the one. He wasn't in the building when the first 2 bombs went off, or when the judge's watch was stolen, Jake Wexler thought. On the other hand, he sure did hate Sam Westing. Yes, Mr. McSouthers, justice is exactly what I call it. Not her, not the judge, in spite of the clues, Chris thought, unless she's one of those Black Panthers in disguise. Those weren't gas explosions, those were bombs, right? Theo pressed the captain. A nice kid, that Theo. Doug, too, Florenbach thought. But how often had she seen television interviews of next-door neighbors saying, Can't believe he killed 13 people. He was such a nice kid. Oh my, what's gotten into me? Thinking such a thing. The captain would not call them bombs, more like childish pranks. Childish pranks? That brat's capable of anything. Turtle stuck out her tongue at the sneering Doug Ho. And that's where I'm going to stop. I look forward to seeing everyone in the next video, which will be parts 18. And one of the reasons why I'm in a different shirt in this part of the video is because, once again, the last few minutes of the original video went kaflooey and the audio was just completely erased. I don't know why. I hope you all enjoyed the reading. I hope you will be here for the next video. Got some exciting stuff going on. This is the Esperanza 243 signing off.